Welcome to the Made for Business show where Catholic moms come to learn how to build a business from peace while raising kids. Do you struggle with getting excited about doing something and then not following through? I received this question recently. Someone emailed me and said, I get really excited about my business and I start working on it, but then I either completely check out from the business or I decide I don't have enough information and I go buy a new course or listen to podcasts and I start researching and I don't make any progress on my business. And I think this is all of us, right? I don't think there's anyone who pops up and goes, I would like to start a business now. And then just step by step goes through all of the steps with no drama and no procrastination and no avoidance. But I think what we're not taught in school is that often procrastination or procrastinate research, right, is often a stress response, a fear response. And when you think of it like that, it helps you to problem solve at such a deeper level, and it helps you to have more compassion for yourself. And I see this at all levels of business. So whether you're starting out, whether you've made multiple six figures, whether you've launched lots of products or you're gearing up to do your first launch, it's scary. Your brain doesn't like it. It doesn't want you to do it. It feels fear. And as a human, when you feel fear, you're going to have a fight, flight, fawn, or freeze response. And a freeze response can look like inaction, not doing anything. But it can also look like freezing on what you should be doing and instead distracting yourself with something else, even if it sounds noble and good and productive, right? Let's say that you're trying to launch a new offer and you want to create the sales page for it. And you're struggling to write the words, the copy on your sales page. And I just did a podcast about that. And so instead of working on it or finishing it, you think, okay, I'm going to go spend $200 on a copywriting course. And then you buy that course and you start watching it. And maybe you even really like it. And this lasts for a couple weeks. And all of a sudden you find yourself having not finished your sales page, which means you didn't launch your offer, which means you're not making any money from it. And so on the surface, that might sound like a good thing. Oh, I wanted to write a sales page. I didn't have the skill of copywriting and I went to acquire the skill. But here's the problem with that. There's an endless amount of that possible. There is an endless amount of education that you could have about business. And so if it's not the words on your sales page, maybe it's the colors. Did you know that there are certain colors that make people feel things? You can go down that rabbit hole. There is a test that you can take about the kind of hero you should be in your marketing. There's, I think, 12 types, maybe 20 types. I remember finding that, being like, this is so cool. It was so interesting to read about the different types. Like, are you the entertainer? Are you a sage? Are you the rule breaker? But here's the thing. When learning perpetually distracts you from building your business, then it is not helpful. And so it is your job to balance learning and acquiring skills with just doing the work. So I want you to get to the end of the week, whether it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever the end of the week is for you. And I want you to write down what you produced. I wrote 6 emails. I made 3 social posts. I answered 8 emails to prospective clients. So we don't want you to say, I spent, 48 minutes cleaning out my email. I don't care about time. I care about results. What did you produce? And when I do this with myself, I say it lovingly, like, hey, but what did you actually produce? Because I know I love Learning Land. I love Learning Land. I want to live there. I want to read books and listen to podcasts and take courses. I wish that was all I had to do. But it's really easy for me to hide there and not produce results. Now, let's say, same scenario, you're building your sales page and you think, oh, I don't know about copy. Maybe I should learn more about that. I would then pause and go, okay, well, when do I want this sales page done by? Okay, Friday. How much time am I willing to spend learning about copy before I work on the sales page to create the result of it being done on Friday? And it might be 20 minutes. And then I might pause my work and go spend 20 minutes reading some blog articles or watching a YouTube video, learning probably most of what I need to learn as a good first pass to do my sales page. And then I'm going to get my sales page done. And then if I want to grow the skill of writing compelling copy, which I think is a really important skill to have if you're going to be a business owner, I can plan for that over the next few months. Maybe after I'm done with my sales page, maybe I do still purchase that course. And maybe I put on my calendar 30 minutes a week or an hour a week of practicing and cultivating this skill. But when you find yourself acquiring new skills to avoid the real work of business, producing results, that's when I want you to get hip to the fact that this is probably a stress response and this is your version of freezing. Like, oh, I just cannot get my body to do this thing that scares me, so it's going to go do something else. And I think this is a constant, I don't want to say battle, but balance maybe, where we're constantly checking in with ourselves about, hey, is this the right time to be learning this skill, or do we just need to buckle down and produce some results? And I just experienced this because one of my clients was showing me a cool video editing software. And I set aside this time to record some podcast episodes, and I record them in a video form so you can watch them on YouTube. And I had this moment where I was like, ooh, I'm going to download that and I'm going to run these videos through that program. And it sounded so great. And I felt the excitement of it. I love something new and I love tinkering and playing with things. And then I thought, you know what? No. My hair is blow dried right now. It looks fantastic. This is the time I set aside to do videos. My kids are with my husband right now. I can dink with video editing software at a totally different time. And I can do that with my messy mom bun wearing my Made for Greatness sweatshirt. And so I had to redirect my brain. I had to take my toddler brain that was like, ooh, we want that candy. And I had to go, you know what? We're not going to eat that candy right now, hun. I love you. That does sound fun. We can do that later. But right now, we're going to create the result of having 4 podcast episodes done because my team is trying to be 1 month ahead on podcast episodes. And I have 2 different podcasts. So I am committed to creating the result of filming this, even though I know that when I learn how to use that video editing software, it will make them better. But I don't need that today. B- work is enough. And one of the reasons why I make so much money is because I produce a lot. I finish something enough to put it into the wild, whether it's a podcast or a workbook or a class. And I do that more than a lot of other people. And I'm not saying that I'm better than other people. I'm saying I've learned that producing content and putting it out into the world to ask the marketplace, do you like this, is how you grow business. Learning and living in learning land, while it feels really good, does not grow a business. And so we want to balance those 2 things. So if you notice that this is you and you've been doing this more recently, or you just haven't gotten out of the habit of continuing to procrastinate on producing results in your business and you're distracting yourself with other things. 1, I just want to say welcome to the club. I wish I could give you like a cool entrepreneurship sweatshirt or a crown or a bracelet that just says, hey, you are part of the club. And being part of the club means tackling this constant issue of When should I be learning? When should I be producing? My brain doesn't want to produce and it wants to hide in other places. So I want to link arms with you and say, you're in the arena. You are fighting the good fight of being an entrepreneur. Congratulations. You are a business owner. It's amazing. So have some compassion that nothing is wrong with you. It's not like I would open up your brain and be like, oh, something's broken. She's never going to make it. It's just totally normal. And it is just a skill that you can begin cultivating. And the skill is your brain wants to go right. And you have to say, hey, honey, we're going to go left. And it's just a very gentle, like, nope, we're going to do this. And if you want to write down your results at the end of the day, you could do that, or the end of the week. But I want you to start tracking what your results are. So we're not tracking time or intention or hope or brainstorming. We want to create results. Now, let's say you put brainstorming on your calendar for 30 minutes. The result that I hope that you would have would be like, I have outlined the first 3 videos of my course. Your outline being finished is a result. Okay, and that result has to happen before you film the video and before you put the video out into the world. So not all results are income generating, but they should be building blocks for the things that are income generating. So compassion, this is totally normal. And then making a plan to cultivate this skill of managing your brain. Just saying, look, and you're so good at it, right? Because you don't eat candy every time you go to the grocery store. Okay. I love that my kids think when they have money, I love what they think they're going to spend their money on. And I just like laugh. And I'm like, that is definitely not what you're going to spend your money on when you're an adult. But I love that they just want to think about it and dream. And I know that their prefrontal cortex will be formed and their adult brain will be fully formed, and then they will say, oh, I probably shouldn't buy candy at the grocery store just because I'm an adult and I have $2. So you need to do that in your business. We're going to grow an adult brain in our business by saying, hey, I know you want to go right. We're going to go left. Because here's the thing. You always know what to do. I coach so many women now. And when I get them calm, I always get them calm first. And then I say, what do you think you need to do? They always have the best ideas. And I'm like, yeah, let's do that. And then I like to add, and I believe in you. I believe you could do that. You're great at that. And I see them light up. So what if that's true of you? What if you know exactly what you need to do and you're really good at it? And all you have to do is get your brain to be like, hey, I know you want to go right. We're going to go left. I want you to focus on producing results. Learning is not a problem, but we need to contain it. Put it on your calendar or say, I like to use learning too as a reward. Like, hey, if you get these 4 podcasts done, then you can listen to this other thing. I have this Alex Hormozy video in my email inbox. He rarely emails, and he emailed and said, I think you should watch this video. And he never does that. So I'm like, oh, I really want to watch that video. And I haven't watched it yet. And so maybe I'll watch it after I do these 4 podcast episodes today. You have what it takes. If God has called you to business, you have what it takes. And you have what it takes to get to the next level and the next level and the next level. I think sometimes when we've been in business for a while, we think we're going to stop having this new feeling and this feeling of, oh, I don't want to do that. I'm scared. But that's just part of the gig, right? Every time we unlock another level, like really imagine climbing stairs to another level in your business. And you open the door and you're like, oh, this is new and it feels risky. Every new level of business is like that. And I just don't expect it to be any different. I'm like, oh, we're about to unlock a new level. Get ready. We're going to do that thing where we feel new and dumb, like we don't know what we're doing. And it feels scary and risky and we're going to want to shut down. We're going to push through because God has called us to this moment and this business and this work. I love you. You're doing better than you think you are. Get to work and have a blessed day.